I think in a lot of ways it's healthy. Someone asked me something the other day, and right now it almost seems like anything goes. It seems like the blues rock umbrella has gotten really large, and so I'm not a purist by any stretch of the imagination, but there's things that now are being kind of labeled blues rock. And I'm kind of going like, well, hey, that's cool if that's blues rock, but I'm not hearing it, and that's like that doesn't mean anything. If
people are definitely pushing the boundaries of what it is
and
now.
And that's fine. And to me, the main thing is, as long as it's bringing in new fans. That's really all I care about. I mean, if Slayer released a blues rock record and it didn't sound like blues rock, but it brought in a bunch of people that went and bought Buddy Guy records and Rick Estrin records and whatever it is, it's like, as long as it's bringing in new fans. And like I said, I mean, there's stuff right now that's being labeled blues rock, and I'm having a hard time kind of hearing the correlation, but that doesn't matter, my opinion.
It's interesting that you say that, because for a lot of years, it seemed like people would say about blues rock music, they'd be like, well, that's not blues.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's more blues rock.
Right.
But now it's interesting that you say that, because probably in the last year or two, I've been hearing more people say that's not blues rock, and I had never heard that before.
Right. It's getting further and further away. Well, it's strange because, I mean, I love Chicago blues and what people, I guess, maybe label traditional blues. And if I'm pressed and I'm with musicians that are playing that kind of stuff, I can be in that world and exist and not exert as much rock influence. But, there's a group of people that say, okay, this is blues, and then blues rock they consider not blues. Well, it's like, okay, well, now we have a category for that. But now what you're saying is now there's blues rock, and it's just like, now there's this other thing. It's just like, well, is that just rock, or is that alternative rock, or is that alternative? Maybe there's a new category coming up called alternative blues rock.
Or maybe it's just called good music.
Right. Maybe it's just good music, and if you can trace, I mean, if you listen to the guitar playing in a lot of these, bands or artists, you can trace back to blues. You can go back and you can trace it back to, whoever's Son House or Book of White or, I mean, you can trace it back. But yeah, I mean, just good music, and maybe there's a blues influence in there somewhere. And people like to label things, and that's fine. So it's all good.